What is up, everybody? It is back day. It's time to thrash these lats. Um, so the diet's going pretty good right now. This is day 2 of the cut. I don't expect to see anything drastic the first week, but once we get a couple weeks into this thing, we're going to start to see some more definition. And I could be off with my calorie intake, and I might have to make some adjustments. Um, but we're locked in and we're going to see what we can do with this. So, questions for today. One weakness in my back development, I'm going to attack with extra focus today. So, I think my traps are pretty good and I feel like my lats are coming in, but I think I need more focus there. So, just there's a few back exercises I like doing, and it's kind of hard for me to stray away from that. But maybe what I'll do is I'll do 4 sets of lat pull downs. I'll do 4 sets of pullovers, and then I'll just do 2 sets of dumbbell rows and 2 sets of cable rows. So it'll be more of a lat focused back day. That was a good question. It made me think about it. But if this were my last back workout before stepping on a stage, how would I train? Well, I've never been on a stage. That'd be pretty cool to do one day. But I would definitely focus on just time under tension, mind-muscle connection, not going too heavy, because I think the worst thing you could do before, during this whole prep and everything is injure yourself right before it's showtime. That would be so stupid. Which cue helps me feel my lats the most, and am I ready to apply it with every rep? Just like a lot of back movements, I think the stretch position, when you're in that stretch position and you feel your back pull, you gotta be able to feel that. So like on lat pull downs, when you go up and you let it stretch and you pull down with your back instead of just jerking it with your arms, like if you pull down with, it's just something you got to practice. So when you get in that full stretch position and then you feel your lats pull, just try to pull the weight back down in a way that you feel your back through the whole motion. It's something you got to practice, and I think wrist straps do help. Brought my wrist straps today. Glad that question, because I was going to leave those in the car, and I probably would have came back and get them. What movement today will set the tone for progressive overload, and how will I execute it? Your first set is going to set the tone of your whole workout. Like lat pull downs, I'm going to warm up, and then I'm going to go as heavy as I can, but still control the weight throughout the entire movement. So it's always going to be the first set that's going to set the tone for your workout. That first set is important. Can I train with more intention than last week, even if the weight doesn't go up? That's always, like, the whole reason you come in here on a certain day, like today is back day. My focus is to destroy my back in a good way. And I don't think there's a different focus every time. I think every time I'm focused on whatever muscle I'm training, and I'm trying to go to as close to failure as I can within reason and do a good amount of sets so that I've done enough damage, but not too much damage. There's always balance there. What's one form tweak I've been ignoring that could unlock new growth? Wrist straps. I know it's not a form thing, it's more of an equipment thing, but it helps you with your form, because when you have the wrist straps when you're training your back, it's a lot easier to not pull with your arms. It's a lot easier to make that mind-muscle connection with your back and pull with your back, because you're focused on one less thing, right? So if I had to coach someone through this workout, what would I emphasize? The stretch. The stretch. When you're doing lat pull downs, go in the full stretch and try to pull it down with your back. When you're doing cable pullovers, full stretch, pull with your back. Dumbbell rows, full stretch all the way to the floor, pull with your back. Cable rows, full stretch, pull with your back. Like, stretch. I would focus on that. What part of this session will make me proud when I watch this vlog back? The part that's going to make me the most proud is What's the part that's going to make me the most proud? I mean, all of it. I mean, this is just something I love to do. I love bodybuilding. I'm really starting to love recording my workouts. I was recording every set, but I felt like that was a little too much. So I try to record at least one set of every exercise, and it may not happen every time. I try to respect everybody around me, but I would say when I go in there and I sit down to do lat pull downs and I put it up to 140 or 160 or something, and I go through that and I feel my strength and I feel myself pulling with my back, I think that'd make me pretty proud. How will I know I earned my post-workout meal today? You don't have to earn your post-workout meal. Go in there and have a crappy workout. You better still have a good post-workout meal. Like, I don't think that's going to dictate whether I eat good or not after this. Besides, it's just going to be veggies and chicken anyway. It's okay. But I'm going to slam this pre-workout. I'm going to get my mind right. Go in there, put the headphones in, listen to some NF, throw around some weight. See you guys in a minute. Well, that goes to show you that things don't always go according to plan. So that was not my initial plan for back day, but it resulted in the best back pump I've had in a while. So awesome. So, I mean, we'll talk about the workout real quick. You just saw it. So I did 4 sets of lat pull downs, went pretty heavy on the first set and slowly lowered the weight. I think the first set might have been a little too heavy because I had to compromise my form a little bit, but my lats were pretty pumped up after those, focusing on that stretch. And then did the dumbbell rows, did 3 sets of those. Those felt really good. And then I actually ended up doing barbell rows, which I haven't done in a while, but I wanted to test wrist straps out with it. And the pump on that one was great. We'll talk about that again soon because I'm pretty sure I have a question about that one. But solid back day, did my 30 minutes of cardio. Always do your 30 minutes of cardio. But let's jump into these questions. What was the most challenging lift today and how did I mentally push through it? The most challenging lift was the first set of lat pull downs because I feel like I went a little too heavy, but it was very rewarding. I felt like I went a little too heavy because I did compromise form, but it was definitely the most challenging. I had to push through that. I really wanted to get as many reps as I can, and I'm trying to mentally focus down every lift now and go as hard as I can within reason. How was my mind-muscle connection with my back improved since I started training? It has grown so much because before I just selected some back exercises and I used my arms and I just threw the weight around, and most of the time I didn't get a back pump. But now I'm so laser focused when I go in there of really focusing on that stretch. I'm telling you, that stretch, and then trying to feel my back through the entire movement. And I've gotten better with that, definitely. Man, it's huge. It makes such a big difference. And I really felt it in the bent over barbell rows, which is something I hadn't done a lot of, but I think I'm going to incorporate it now because it felt that good. If I could give my past self one tip about training back, what would it be? Y'all are going to get tired of me talking about the stretch position, but it really is like the most important thing that I've learned since I've really tried to optimize my training. That stretch position, I'm telling you, full stretch, feel your back through the whole movement. That's the biggest thing. And if I could go back in time, but you know I can't. But if you're starting out and you're new to the gym, really think about that. Like, go hard, of course, but the stretch, full stretch position and feeling your back throughout the movement. Did I discover... how do I structure my back days to prevent overtraining or imbalance? I just go by feel. Whatever feels good that day. I might try to do some pullovers and they don't feel right and I'll move on. I might try to do some cable rows and they don't feel right and I'll move on. Like, I just listen to my body. I try a variety of movements. I try to get a good back pump, and I'm really focused on my lats more than I am my traps right now. What role does grip strength play in my back day, and how do I work on it? I mean, it used to play a bigger role, but I've been really trying to implement using wrist straps. You know, it just takes another thing out of the distraction of the mind-muscle connection with your back. If you have wrist straps, you have no choice but to, I mean, you do have a choice, but it makes it a lot easier to pull with just your back. And that's something I'm really, really trying to bring home with my training right now. But yeah, making that mind-muscle connection. Those wrist straps help so freaking much. Like, if you've never used wrist straps before, it's going to feel kind of wonky at first, but if you play around with it, it'll start to make sense. So I definitely recommend using the wrist straps. How did my posture, hold on. Driving first, question second. It's gonna rain. Okay, we're on straightaway now. How did my posture or core engagement impact my performance today? So I think it really only comes into play when I'm doing rows, and I think the bent over barbell rows might have felt better because my core is a little bit stronger than it used to be. I'm able to stabilize myself more, and I think flexing your abs a little bit when you're bent over will really keep you from really engaging like your lower back if you're trying to avoid that. You know, it makes sense once you start doing it. So I think core strength definitely helps with bent over barbell rows. What's one cue or coaching tip that changed how I train back forever? So I'm going to try to think of something different than talking about the stretch position, because I mean, definitely that. But what's one cue or coaching tip that changed how I train back forever? The grips, the different kinds of grips. Like anytime you train your back, a lot of people like to grip it with a closed fist, but if you take that thumb and use like a hook grip, even if you don't have wrist straps, I think that's another thing that's going to take your forearms out just a little bit and let you focus more on your back. Like when you're doing lat pull downs, if you've never used a hook grip, just try a hook grip. Like, and you're pulling it in and flexing your back. Like, the hook grip is a big one. If I could only do 3 back exercises for the next 6 months, how would I choose and why? Well, today, that was an easy question to answer. God, man. Right now, I would say lat pull downs, dumbbell rows, and barbell rows. Like, that felt like a great combination, but if I was going before today, the 3 I would choose would be lat pull downs. That's a consistent there. So it would be lat pull downs. It would be cable pullovers with the rope attachment, and then some tight grip cable rows. Those have been my 3 go-to for a while. So the lat pull downs, I don't feel anything better in my lats than when I do lat pull downs. You know, the full stretch, the squeeze at the bottom, mind muscle connection with that one is just next level. So I could not do away with that one. And then cable pullovers was one that I used to not like, but it was because I was doing it wrong. Again, like hook grip, like don't close fist it, hook grip on the ropes, and you row it into your hips and flex your back at the end. That's just another one that I feel in my back really well. You got to pick the right weight, because when you go in that stretch position, you want the weight pulling you forward a little bit. And then cable rows, I've just done cable rows since I've had access to a cable row machine. Stretch, squeeze, stretch, squeeze. It's just it's just a great exercise. So solid back day, guys. Did my 30 minutes of cardio, sticking to my cutting diet. Took a pretty cool picture of my back after during the pump check after my workout. And, you know, we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's, and we're getting after it. So it's only a matter of time. It's a matter of when, not if. I'm going to get super lean. I'm going to see what kind of physique I actually have. And you can never know that unless you diet down. So if you've never dieted down to sub 10%, like somewhere between 8 and 10% body fat, I would recommend doing that. And I'm going to get down there. I think I'm going to cut so I have a vacation July to the beach with my family. And then after that, I think I'm going to commit to probably like a 6-month bulk, a slow bulk, because I've never actually done a bulk, like committed to getting the right amount of nutrition and actually eating more food. It seems like I've always tried to cut, but I'd like to cut down, see what I'm working with, and get to really lean, and from there slowly bulk. I think it'll give me more room and more time to bulk. But yeah, that's the plan. We're going to keep cutting, see what the physique looks like, and go from there. Tomorrow is chest day. I'll probably select some chest exercises, and who knows if those are the ones I'll do, but we shall see. I will see you guys tomorrow for chest day. Don't let that dreamer die. keep the grind alive, and as always, never give up on yourself.